devotees. Hare Krishna, welcome to all devotees. Today we continuing Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2nd, chapter 10. Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions and we try to understand shlok number 45. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram
Namaskrityam
Chaiva
Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatah Jayam Udiret.
Nashtaprayeshu
Nashtaprayeshu
Bhadreshu
Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata
Nityam
Sevaya
Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati
Bhagavati
Uttama
Uttama
Shloke
Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati
Bhakti Bhavati
Naistiki.
Hare Krishna. Shlok 45. Na asya karmani jalma adau
Nasya karmani janmadau
parasya anuvidiyate
parasya anuvidhiyate
कर्तृत्व प्रतिषेध अर्थम
kartrutva pratishedhartham
मायया आरोपितम हि तत्
mayaya aropitam hitat
नस्य कर्मणि जन्म
nasya karmani janma
आदौ परस्य अणु विधीयते
adau parasya anuvidhiyate
कर्तृत्व प्रतिषेध अर्थम
kartrutva pratishedhartham
मायया आरोपितम हि तत्
mayaya aropitam hitat
नस्य कर्माणि जन्मादौ परस्य अणु विधीयते कर्तृत्व प्रतिषेध अर्थम मायया आरोपितम हि तत्
nasya
हरे कृष्ण
karmani janma adau parasya anuvidhiyate kartrutva pratishedhartham mayaya aropitam hitat.
Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There is no direct engineering by the Lord for the creation and destructions of the material world. What is described in the Vedas about his direct interference is simply to counteract the idea that material nature is the creator. Purport. The Vedic direction for the creation, maintenance, and destructions of the material world is this. Yatava imani bhutani jayante ena jatani jatani jivanti yat aprayanti abhisamvishanti. That is, everything is created by Brahman. After creation, everything is maintained by Brahman, and after annihilation, everything is conserved in Brahman. Gross materialist, without any knowledge of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan, conclude material nature to be ultimate cause of the material manifestation. And the modern scientists also share this view that the material nature is the ultimate cause of all the manifestation of the material world. This view is refuted by all Vedic literature. The Vedanta philosophy mentions that Brahman is the fountainhead of all creation, maintenance, and destruction. And Srimad Bhagavatam, the natural commentation on the Vedanta philosophy, says, Jalmadhyaseta Anvayata Itarata cha Artheshu Adishgyaha Swarata, etc. Inert matter is undoubtedly energy with potential to interact, but it has no initiative of its own. Srimad Bhagavatam therefore comments on the aphorism Jalmadi Asya by saying Abhigya and Swarat, that is, the Supreme Brahman is not inert matter, but he is supreme consciousness and is independent. Therefore, inert matter cannot be the ultimate cause of the creation, maintenance, and destructions of the material world. Superficially, material nature appears to be the cause of creation, maintenance, and destruction. But material nature is set into motion for creation by the Supreme Conscious Being, the personality of Godhead. He is the background of all creation, maintenance, and destruction. And this is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.10. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam etunanaina kaunteya jagat viprivartate. The material nature is one of the energies of the Lord, and she can work under the direction of the Lord Adhyakshena. When the Lord throws his transcendental glance over the material nature, then only can the material nature act as a father of contacts the mother, who is then able to conceive a child, although it appears to the layman that the mother gives birth to the child. The experienced man knows that the father gives birth to the child. The material nature therefore produces the moving and standing manifestation of the material world after being contacted by the Supreme Father and not independently. Considering material nature to be the cause of creation, maintenance, etc., is called the logic of nipples on the neck of a goat. The Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami described this logic of Ajagala Astananay as follows, as explained by His Divine Grace Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. The material nature as the material cause is known as pradhāna, and an efficient cause is known as maya. But since it is inert matter, it is not the remote cause of creation. Kaviraj Goswami state as follows. अतएव कृष्ण मूल जगत कर्ण प्रकृति कारण याइच्छे यच्छे अज गलस्तन चैतन्य चरितमृत आदि लीला 5.61 because Karnarshai Vishnu is a plenary expansion of Krishna. It is he who electrifies the matter to put it in motion. The example of electrification is quite appropriate. A piece of iron is certainly not fire, but when the iron is made red hot, certainly it has the quality of fire through its burning capacity. Matter is compared to the piece of iron and it is electrified or made red hot by the glance or manipulation of the supreme consciousness of Vishnu. Only by such electrification is the energy of matter displayed in various action and reaction. Therefore, the inert matter is neither efficient nor the material cause of the cosmic manifestation. Sri Kapil Dev has said, Yatha ulmukat visprutanlingat धूमात वा अपि स्व संभुवत अपि आत्मत्वेन अभिमनात् यथा अग्निः पृथक् उल्मुकात् भागवतम 3.28.40. The original fire, its flame, its spark, its smoke are all one. For fire is still fire, yet is different from the flame. Flame is different from spark, and spark are different from the smoke. In every one of them, namely in the flame, in the spark, and in the smoke, the integrity of fire is present, yet all of them are differently situated with different position. The cosmic manifestation is compared to the smoke because when smoke passes over the sky, so many forms appear, resembling many known and unknown manifestations. The sparks are compared to living entities and the flames are compared to material nature. Pradhan, one must know that each and every one of them is effective simply because of being empowered by the quality of the original fire. Therefore, all of them, namely the material nature, the cosmic manifestation, and the living entities, are but different energies of the Lord fire. Therefore, those who accept the material nature as the cosmic manifestations, original cause, or prakrti, the cause of creation, according to Sāṅkhya philosophy, are not correct in their conclusion. The material nature has no separate existence without the Lord. Therefore, setting aside the Supreme Lord as the cause of all causes is the logic of Ajagala Sthana, Nyaya, or trying to milk the nipples on the neck of a goat. The nipples on the neck of a goat may seem like a source of milk, but to try to get milk from such nipples will be foolish. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Vishtam स्थापितम् येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्विताञ्च नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण we continuing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2nd, Chapter 10. Bhagavatam is the answer to all question and try to understand Shlok number 45. In this shloka, they describing about the who is the direct engineer of for connecting for the creation destruction of the material world, and they describe about the interference which simply counteract the idea of material nature is the creator. Here they describing and giving 2 3 examples most important. They're describing giving the example of the goat, and they again giving the example of the from Chaitanya Charitamrut, uh, Srila Kalidas Kaviraj Goswami described this logic of the Ajagalastana Nyaya, that is they describing, and they again giving about the fire, means fire, flame, spark, and smoke. That seeming all are one, but they are different. That example is they giving, and they describe about the sparks are compared to living entities, and flames are compared to material nature, pradhāna, and one must know the each and every one of them is effective simply because of being empowered by the quality of the original fire. Prabhuji will tell us in nicely. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So the Supreme Lord is the indirect controller who never loses control. So after hearing technical descriptions, philosophical information of the cosmic creation, the Virat form, the universal operations, What we see in this shloka is a critical clarification so that we don't make a mistake, matter as the creator or independent force. The great transcendentalist, our Shiksha Gurus, they describe the Lord's involvement with the material nature, but pure devotees understand that his spiritual attributes are far more glorious than his material engagements. Lord is not like an engineer who is operating a machinery. Nowhere in the scriptures it is portrayed that he is just a technician personally managing the universe. No, he does not. He is not twisting knobs, he is not tightening screws, neither is he regulating planets manually. If you look at the shloka, the expression that he creates or he destroys, they themselves are sufficient to defeat the false theory that matter is the source of creation. Especially those who say the Big Bang theory. Because nothing comes from a bang. Nasya karmani janmadu. So there is no direct engineering by Lord for creation and destruction. What is described in Vedas is this indirect interference, simply to counteract the idea that material nature is the creator. So that is most important aspect. The real intention is to establish that the cause behind everything is conscious. It is not material. Now there can be two kinds of interferences, the direct interference and the indirect. When it comes to direct interference, we can see that it occurs during his avatar lila. Now, sometimes it seems the Lord interferes directly. And yes, that happens. Especially when he appears as an avatar. When he lifts Govardhan. When he protects devotees, destroys demoniac forces. When he kills Hiranyakashipu. When he destroys Lavan and his Lanka. When he protects his devotees. So, when he uplifts the earth. So, Kṛṣṇa is directly interfering. But that is not the domain being discussed. The topic is the functioning of the universe. And in that field, his system is indirect participation with total control. Just like in modern organizations, the board of the organization, the company, it exerts complete control on the company through the management. Similarly, Kṛṣṇa has created this management system and he exerts the complete control on that. And that is the indirect interference, yet continuous control. Like right now in this very moment we are speaking, we are moving a little bit, right? Our minds are functioning, our bodily activities are occurring. But none of that is because of our power. Everything that is happening is indirectly happening. Nothing is being done by Kṛṣṇa, but by us. So how is it happening? It is happening because of permission, because everything is sanctioned and supervised by the Paramatma residing in our hearts. So Kṛṣṇa is not controlling through physical touch, mechanical effort, or manual operation. Yet nothing can function without his permission. This is the meaning of indirect handling. Uninterrupted supervision. So even scientifically speaking, whether it is causation, the real cause behind it is always Kṛṣṇa. In one of the lectures on this particular topic, a question was taken up. Scientists explain the motion of a pendulum. The question was, what really makes it move? Now, the pendulum moves because of the hand. The hand moves because of microscopic structures, muscles, nerves, cells, and all those microstructures act because consciousness activates them. So, the visible cause is the hand. The deeper cause is the living force, and the ultimate cause is the supreme consciousness, Sarva Karana Karana. We have cosmic application of the same principle. Just as body mechanisms, impulses, biological systems all depend on consciousness, in the same way, material nature, elements, energies, universal laws all operate only because the supreme consciousness exists behind them. So he does not need to touch matter. Matter cannot function without him. So this clarification is essential because after hearing detailed accounts of the material elements, universal form, cosmic intelligence, operations of nature, a listener might understand that everything runs automatically. Therefore, this shloka and clarification emphasizes that the Lord does not need to directly interfere. Yet nothing moves without him. But non-interference does not mean absence. Indirect control does not mean weakness. And hence, what we see is a complete synchronization of Lord and the nature. Once, I forgot the name of the Maharaj, he asked a famous physicist about haste. And the interaction was something like this: can someone tell the theories of physics like quantum mechanics and things like that to calculate what an amoeba will do in a drop of water? So the physicist was, what, amoeba? And I'm a physician. So then he started discussing, okay, we have to imagine that drop of water and an amoeba. Amoeba is a single cell creature, like a little blob of jelly, but it is alive. What that does is amoeba puts out pseudopods. So pseudopods. So all these things, and he started speaking blah 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 blah. Prove that somehow, somewhere, it means true. So if something is there that the amoeba wants to eat, it just goes like this and just flows around it. Now this physicist, he said something, but he understood that whatever he was saying was ridiculous. And he said that, sorry, this is all absurd, but why did you ask such a crazy question? And that is when Maharaj told him, if using the laws of physics, we cannot calculate what the amoeba is going to do in the next few moments, how do we know that the amoeba is really operating according to the laws of physics? Because we cannot test it. So we don't know whether it is obeying the laws of science or not. So similarly, there is a real mystery as to how it's all really working. And what we find is that Kṛṣṇa is really behind the whole thing. He controls everything. He creates Brahma, gives Brahma the instructions, and then Brahma is controlling things. But his way of controlling things is pretty mysterious also. So that is why this shloka, to make us understand the theory of indirect control. Modern management teaches it in MBA colleges, but in Bhagavatam everything is available right from scratch. So this shloka, if you see, the real message is that the Lord's control is so perfect that he never needs to interfere, yet he never loses control even for a moment. When he wants to express power and compassion, he acts directly as Avatara. So, be it Varha Avatar, be it Vaman Avatar, be it Narsya Bhagavan, be it Ram, be it Krishna, be it Pandharinath. So he acts directly. Be it Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. A very wonderful shloka was quoted from Chaitanya Charitamrita in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. And when he wants to maintain universal organization, he acts indirectly through Paramatma and his other energies. So whether it is the direct mode or the indirect mode, both modes express the same Supreme Person. And who is that Supreme Person? The person with infinite intelligence, infinite control, infinite affection for all beings. He is always the controller, whether it touches or does not touch. And so it is very, very essential that we understand his supreme nature, we surrender to him and follow his instructions. Whatever instructions are being given by him are for our benefit. Like a true father, he hopes that we get out of our folly, come back to him, and be with him, serve him lovingly, fondly, because that is our eternal position. And for only that only he has created this material world. He has given these instructions to Maya. Please reform these people and send them back. We are those lucky few, fortunate few, who because of mercy of Prabhupada and got this information. So now it is our duty that we really implement the sadhana as it is and go back home, back to Godhead.